he said that he's high functioning, which I know they don't really use those labels anymore, but that's what Nick said about himself. He said that he was like the top in his special ed class. Nick's not dumb. Have you seen?
He said he would do it again.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, there's a video out too, and you better realize this. Elsie put it out there that time, where Nick said,
told her that
he always wondered what it would be like to unlive somebody.
Yep.
But also, wait, he told her that even if he told her she had autism, wait a minute. You know how I might have autism, to be honest. You know how hard it is to get a diagnosis, though? Does that mean if I go murder somebody tomorrow, you're going to be out here on the TikTok streets telling people that she didn't know what she was doing? I mean, if that's how we're going to do it, I mean, do you know Elon Musk has autism? Elon Musk.
Jessica.
He has autism.
Jessica, did you watch Nicholas Godejohn's interview in 2018 when he told
Jessica's asking to come up on panel?
Oh, good.
He told the interviewer that when Dee Dee saw him standing over her, she said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm your worst nightmare, B."
Yep.
Look, I know y'all don't like Gypsy, and neither do I. But come on, this is not okay.
And the other thing you got to consider,
let's unmute. I want to hear what Jessica's got to say.
Yeah, like a prisoner, she wasn't mature, so she wouldn't have recognized it.
Okay.
So I've joined live and I've asked one question, which was the video about Nick. Now, I'm quite defensive about the videos that are made about him because there are so many out there. I am not saying that you, Brie, have made a video about Nick's mum. I'm not saying that, but that has happened. There's so many
people have made horrible videos about Gypsy too, though. I mean,
go through my profile. There is not one single video about her. Not one. I won't make one.
But that doesn't mean Brie has to not make one about Nick. She has every right to.
But I came in to see, because previously you've not been badmouthed in the MPG Cornerstone group. Never. Not once.
Well, I mean, they did make a video with me in it, but I mean.
Aside from that, you've not been badmouthed.
From that, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
I mean, I thought Nina's bit in it was worse. Like,
no, Nina's bit was worse, but they called me. They were literally calling me a trans. Okay, they called me trans. They called me a scissor sisters with Christy Blanchard. They made me really skinny because they thought I was on rugs.
Do you not honestly think though Christy's weird? Do you not honestly?
When I think Christy's weird, no, I don't think Christy's weird.
As a parent myself, yeah, the last thing I would be doing for my children, stepchildren or not, they come out of prison. The last thing I'm doing is thrusting them into social media, knowing.
Wait, Christy did that? I didn't know. Did you have a conversation with Christy? She told you she did that?
So she wasn't the one getting all the deals and like going on all the
No, like what do you mean? No.
Money because
you don't know Christy. You're just like regurgitating what people are saying. No, like Christy doesn't make Gypsy barely did stuff with the media while she was in prison, except in the beginning.
But do you see what you've just said?
Mushu, bye Mushu.
Know Christy? No. Do you know Nick?
Who said I knew Nick? I'm basing things off of.
No, you're asking if I know Christy because
but you see what you just said though in the video I'm going to be making. You're not going to find me saying any rumors or making up assumptions. I'm basing everything off of evidence.
The public knows more about Nick than they know about Christy, and that's because
But my point is, you comparing apples with oranges. You're saying, well, you don't know Nick.
No, I don't think that's true. I don't think the public does know more about Nick than they know about Christy because Nick's not had the opportunity to speak. He's chosen not to speak.
Okay, but listen. Okay, let me just say,
who was not directly involved in it all. Christy.
Can I just say one thing so I can compare what you're trying to say? Why? Can I just say this one thing and then I'll shut up? You comparing apples to oranges, and this is why. I'm not talking about. I'm basing everything that I talk about on this video about things like from his trial, from the text messages, from his messages with friends, from like things that he has come out of his own mouth. You just now said something about Christy that people just assume. So no, it is a big difference because what I'm going to be doing is not talking bad about him.
She's not doing a biography. It's more of a documentary, not a biography. So she don't need to know Nick personally.
Let me ask you that. What's the purpose of it?
What's the purpose of it?
Yeah.
I think
she has a mission.
A question.
Dreamer, hold on, let me finish it. People,
Let them speak, y'all. Let them speak.
there's a very false narrative that has been pushed like extremely far and wide. And I think that it's only fair that people, there's one perspective of this case that no one has spoken on, and that's what I'm going to be doing.
Can
And
I just
that must be what y'all trying to protect. Like, you almost know exactly what I'm going to do.
Let me just respond to one of your comments. Christy has a right to tell her story. What story? What story?
What story? The story of being the stepmother that you don't think everybody who's involved, every family member, like Mia has a story. Her sister, who she never really got to know, like ended up murdering her mother. You know, that affected her life too. Like, what do you mean? I have a story now.
They have more of a right to talk about it than talking anybody else.
Right, I don't agree with Nina. I'm not going to sit here and say to you like I'm one of the people who follows every single creator who creates drama, because I'm not that person. I'm genuinely not. I've sat by for the last year and I've watched certain creators be in the MPG Cornerstone Nation group and just lurk for months on end, watch videos requesting Nick's mum not be spoken about, and then a week later go and make a video about exactly that. Like,
yeah, but that's not what I'm doing.
And I've not
that's
said
not what
anything.
I'm doing.
But I don't know that. I came on to ask, and I got literally attacked by...
No, you didn't get attacked. You did not get attacked.
Yes, I did. By 30 of your comments. I don't know if you're reading those comments as you go or whether you're just reading mine, but I was getting attacked by your comments. I've had people messaging me like, Jesus, girl, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay.
Since you've been in here, people have
messaged about me. I've got my own back. Like, I don't need 30 people in the comments to have my back. I'm here because of what I believe in and what I stand for. And that is, Nick is autistic. My son is autistic. No. I dread the day where he grows up and really may take advantage of my son.
You know how many people you know how many people from that community completely disagree with what you're saying right now? Like, basically what you're saying is every single person who has autism should be excused.
No, I'm not saying that.
Pretty much.
I'm absolutely not saying that. But at the end of the day, I asked you a question in comments earlier. Do you know what coercive control is? Because I know it's not really a thing in the US.
What?
Coercive control. Have you heard of that?
Who has control?
It's called coercive control.
Coercive, like
so it's like it's domestic violence related in our country usually, but it can be used in cases like this. And I know because it's an unfamiliar concept in the US, like you're probably not going to agree with what I'm saying, but a lot of the text messages that were sent to him come across as coercive control. There's a lot of love.
What?
From you hear some of the messages he sent her that nobody has talked about yet. There's a lot of messages that Nick sent that nobody knows about.
That is wild.
There's literally no point in me being here.
That is wild.
Coercive control.
Who is making that noise?
No, it's not me. It's not a man.
I'm sorry. That's wild.
Coercive control is like love bombing. I'm sure you know what that is. So like laying it on thick, like no disrespect, it might piss you off because you're friends with her.
No, it's not gonna piss me off because I'm friends with it's not gonna piss me off at all. It's like girl, we can read these text messages right now, like complete opposite. Like Gypsy would try to be talking about normal stuff, and Nick would always bring it back to sex. Always bring it back. You know when she's like, I'm not here anymore, it's Kitty. Like, I can't remember word for word what she's saying, but you know when she's like, oh, you nearly lost me, all of that. What's that then? Because Gypsy hasn't got any type of mental health disorder. Wait, what do you mean? According to remember what he said? Do you remember the text messages when he said, when she brings up another name and she's like, says something about Carl, and he's like, oh, you're catching on, good job. She was doing that for him, and she was like, oh, you're catching on. And you know they were bouncing back and forth from Facebook to text messages. So we don't see half the conversation, but you know that's when they were like doing their little role play. That was her and Nick involved. And obviously we don't see all the text for all time anyway. We only see in the lead up to what actually happened. So but if you pay attention, no clue, I have no clue what was said other than the word that we're taking of the people that we're supporting.
But they're all over the internet. You can find them.
That's the only fact. You're taking Gypsy's word for it.
No, I'm not. You see, that's the problem. Like, look, I will kick you off this panel right now if you say that again. Because I'm so fucking tired of people saying that. I was doing this shit before I knew Gypsy. You're not going to come in my live and tell me I'm taking Gypsy's word. No, Jessica. What I do is I read shit and I like look.
But you're reading it with a different mind frame then, aren't you? Because most people read it and most people sit there and think, wow, that's really fucked up.
No,
On
they
both
didn't
sides.
think that until Gypsy was released, until the narrative got pushed around Jessica.
No. From the moment of watching the act, genuinely, it was
The
a
act?
shit show.
The
An
act? That's what
absolute
you're
shit show was an
basing
act.
shit off the act?
Yeah. No, it was a shit show. Listen to
A
what I'm
show.
saying. If you don't
That's
let
a
me get my
fucking
sentence
drama.
out, you don't know
That's
what I'm
a
going to say
dramatic
next.
show. I will kick you out of this panel right now if you're gonna like.
That's
I
absolutely
will.
fine. I'll go
Because you
live
know
on my
what?
own.
I'll
and
put out the
continue
video
what I
today
was
if you
saying.
want. I'll put out the video today. I don't give a fuck if you like the video. I'm
Do you
putting
think
out.
I'm scared of whatever you're threatening me with?
Who am I? I'm
Genuinely.
threatening
Do you think?
bitch? You can
Do
get
you
the
think
fuck.
that Bree's
Get
not
the
going to
fuck
do the
outta
video
here.
because you don't think she
Get
should?
the
No
fuck
wonder
out
you're on
here.
cruise team. Look at the way you behave.
Y'all disconnect this bitch.
Actually, no
Disconnect
clash.
her.
You are just proper tech trailer
Disconnect this
class.
Bree,
bitch.
just block her.
Talking about I'm threatening her. Get the fuck out of here. Boston. Talking about I'm threatening her. Get the fuck out of here. Threatening her about putting a video about Nick. What are you, Nick's for? Are you Nick himself? Talking about I'm threatening her. Get the fuck out of here.
If any of you think that this is going to be a Bree or Gypsy bashing sesh, I'm going to bring my mod balls out, and then you can go cry about why you got blocked. You want to
It's never gonna
be
end because
respectful, fine.
you know how
But
long
you're
people
not
are
going to
talking about
bash
Gypsy?
Bree or Gypsy.
But
You're
I'm
not.
making a video about Nick based on truth. I'm not adding nothing to it. You see, that's the problem. Most creators, they need to add all this juice. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I'm showing things for exactly what they are. I'm not taking them out of context, which most people do. People show Nick's interrogation, and all they show is the part where he admits to what he did. They don't show the rest of it. They never do. Like, they cut and clips out of it. Like, but what you're not going to do is come in here and twist my... I'm not afraid of what you're threatening you. Girl, get the fuck out of here. It's not threatening you. That it's never going to end because you see what's that. Like, I have sat for a year and never made this video. I have sat back and watched multiple people, even the people that never really talk, even MPG Cornerstone, you know, they don't really talk about Gypsy much. But then when they do put videos out, they make it to where like Nick's truth is the only truth, and Gypsy can basically go fuck herself, okay? But I still didn't make one disrespectful video about Nick. And now that I'm finally going to put together a video of things that I've been researching and digging into for over a year now, something that I know the ins and outs of because I waited a year to make this video. And you're going to come in here acting like I can't make that video because you never made a video about Gypsy? Yeah, but hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people have. Like, and the difference, though, is I'm not going to be adding shit like people do or taking shit out of context. It's going to be exactly for what it is. Period. And
Wait, is she trying to tell you that you can't make a video?
she said, who did you add? I'm like, no.
Is she for real?
Yeah, she crazy.
That's not what she said. She said, the first comment she said was, why did you make a video talking about Nick? Who gave you permission?
Who gave
Bree
you
didn't
permission?
even drop the video yet.
Right, so, I gotta start over the live because I just got a violation.